Is it ever cool to date your friend's ex? Hey, we're talking about it. Hey, welcome to Money and Cake, Seriously Hearted. We have friends on the show, of course. You see them right there. We're going to be taking a seriously hard look at life and whatever crosses our feed.
Yeah.
Topic of the day is when is it okay or is it ever okay to date your friend's ex? Before we get into it, let's introduce our guests. We got on the screen the sisters in white. They went shopping together. Twinsies today, Brittany.
Hey.
And Aaliyah.
What's up?
What kind of sophisticated cocktail you got in your hand there? Look at her all fancy and stuff.
I think it's called Sunset something.
Ah, very fancy. Sunset something. Yes. So yes, can you date your boy or your girl's ex? This was your topic, Money. How'd you come about it?
So, I'm on U.S. Bank's website right now by accident.
Checking his account. It's like, can I afford it? That's what I got to know. I knew she was expensive.
Right.
You know, I've seen what trips they took on Instagram. It's like,
So-
shoot, that's a good thing to consider.
Right,
I guess I've been doing some research.
All right. So it came across, it was like, I think in TMZ, that Kenan Thompson's estranged wife is now dating one of his co-workers.
It's coworkers.
His co-workers,
Cast
Chris Red. So I guess the backstory, not to go into a lot of detail about it, but I guess the backstory is that Kenan Thompson and his wife were kind of separated for like 2 years or something like that before they finalized the divorce.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know at what point him, his ex and his coworkers started talking, but they built a relationship, and now are dating, apparently. So I guess what it brought up for me was, well, in talks and stuff like that, have any of us been in that situation? And if we have or haven't, like, how would you feel about it? Because that's a touchy one.
All right, I think we got two questions. One,
Okay.
have any of us dated one of our friends' exes?
Right.
Two, have any of our friends dated one of our exes?
Touche.
Money, you go first. What's the answer? Have you ever dated a friend's ex?
Yes.
Oh, you dated.
Yeah. What?
Like you dated.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And
Slimy
I had
bastard.
a friend date. Well, I don't know how long their relationship lasts. I think it was more. I don't think they dated, but I think he asked me if he can ask her out on a
Oh,
date.
permission. Wonderful.
So, and actually, for both situations, it really boils down to honesty and respect. So, without saying any names, one, the girl I dated was friends with when my friend was dating her. But many years had went past before I got to that point with her where I'm like, hey, we can be a couple or we want to date or whatever the case is. But before anything, before even asking her out, before really pursuing it, I had to come clean to him. I had to ask him. I said, hey, dude, this is the scenario. What are your thoughts about it? What do you feel about it? Now, this, again, a lot of time has went past. He probably had a girlfriend or two in between, but it's still touchy because that's still someone you've cared about at some point and been in a relationship with. And the main reason I think it kind of came easy for me to do so was the fact that I had someone do that to me first.
Got it.
So the flip side of that coin, I dated a girl, and I dated a girl, and he started talking to her and was like, hey, he had in his mind, I'm going to actually ask her out, but she dated one of my good friends. So he just asked me, he's like, how would you feel about it? Again, time, relationships in between. And I was like, if you guys got a connection, man, go for it.
Got it.
No hard feelings. So it still boiled with it to the point where both situations were just respect and honesty and just asking, and I was prepared. I think in my situation, I was prepared for them to say no and be okay with that. But you have to ask. I think you have to ask.
I'm going to hold on to that for a minute. Ladies.
I have question, Gary. Sorry. For if they said no, don't date them. Would you listen?
That was my question.
Sorry.
I would have forgotten it anyway, so thank you for jumping in.
I probably, honestly, how I was feeling at the time, I probably would have. I would have definitely agreed to it, but I would have contested it. I would have dug into more like why, like I'm coming at you as a man saying, hey, I'm interested in this person. Many years have gone by. If he said no, I would want to say why. Like,
Is
you
it
know?
because you appreciated his friendship more, or you didn't like
Oh,
the girl enough?
definitely. He definitely was the stronger entity. She was friends and then didn't talk for the longest and then reconnected. So yeah, but he's been there the whole time.
So
Well,
how much
absolutely.
do you push too? Like if they were to say, no, I'm not good with it, and then you come back and say why, and it's a conversation, but they're still not okay with it. How much do you continue to push until it's like, all right?
Honestly, I can't even answer that because I don't know. You know what I mean? Since I didn't get that far into the scenario, because he was just like, don't have any feelings for her. I'm over her. You know, if you feel that there's a connection, go for it. So I don't know what it would have been like to keep, having that. Because of course I got it before even asking him the question. I'm asking those questions myself. Like, what if he says no? Am I gonna honor that? Because by honoring that, I gotta honor our friendship. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, if I really like this person, then I gotta try to convince him to think of it as a good thing. And
you gotta
also
make sure that whoever the person is that you're wanting to date is worth all of the extra mile that you're going with the friend.
And you also got to think too, does your friend want you? You would want your friend to want you to be happy too, and so it kind of puts you both in an awkward position, So, but I think that's because I had a good friend and the situation was good where they were just like, nah, if you guys got a connection, go for it, man.
Following up on Aaliyah's question, so let's say friend says no, but what if you're just like, you and the person are so like you are like connecting, it, and you think this is the one.
Well,
even though I don't believe in the one, but this could be the one out of how many other ones there are. Like this could be.
Then it's like professing your love for someone. You have to tell them that. You have to really tell them, like, look, I understand where you're coming from, but this is the reason why I'm really asking. I feel this connection. It's almost like that song, I'm going to marry this girl, when you ask the dad for permission.
I'm
Dad's
going to
like,
marry her anyway.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to marry her anyway. It's kind of like that because you're doing it in some ways, you might be doing it as just a nice gesture, but your intent's still your intent. But you have to question, in this situation, your friendship's on the line too.
True.
So it's never, I don't think it's ever going to be an easy position to be in.
Yeah.
So
how about, ladies? You ever done it or had it done to you? Would you?
Go ahead. You want to go first?
I'm going to go first. I don't recall this ever been done to me, or I don't think I ever dated someone's ex. What I was trying to think about in the beginning when you brought up the topic, I feel like there are two sides of it. Sometimes people would do it on purpose to piss someone off. And I think that's a legit pissing off thing. It would piss me off.
Who do you think would be most likely the person to do it to piss someone off?
I don't know, immature people. Like someone, you were friends and then you were not friends. It's like, okay, I'll get back at you by dating your ex or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's another twist.
I was thinking the ex would pursue the friend to piss off their ex. So let's say Gary and I are dating. All right. I don't want to presume and make the ladies uncomfortable. Okay. I'm all about, yes.
Make it be
so exactly.
All about
Yes.
brotherhood.
So me and Gary are dating. Gary dumps me. All right.
I can tell you that's probably going to happen.
Gary dumps me. But Marlon is totally Gary's boy. And I'm like, what's up, Marlon? About to start getting down. Just because I'm trying to piss him off.
Yep, exactly.
I don't know why this is happening today. I don't know why this little thing's going on.
Oh, my goodness.
So that happens for sure. That manipulative type of thing happens.
Yeah.
Now, actually, as I thought about this, I remembered it did happen to me because I was thinking, no, it's never happened. It happened. My first love.
Oh.
My first love dumped me, and then my really good friend like fooled around with her, and like made a move, and she like I don't know really what happened. I'm gonna ask you later. Now that I'm thinking about it, like what really went down that night?
You were looking at the camera. I thought you were looking
What really went down?
Okay.
Oh man, I was heartbroken. I was pissed, but we were boys still. We got a little mad, you know what I'm saying? But we got over it. You know what I mean? Because bros, man,
Okay.
She dumped me like 3 times for different guys. Always came back until the last one. Knocked her up.
So in your scenario,
Still
he
scarred.
went behind your back, essentially.
Yeah.
And then, so how did you eventually find out? Did you find out from him or from her?
I don't remember. Probably her.
That's cold shit to me. That's cold.
And I was in love with her. My goodness, I was in love.
Yeah. See, that's cold. And it's probably was like, how do you remember how long did it happen after you guys were broken up?
This is junior high school. So in junior, it literally was probably
So
like
3 hours.
days or weeks, but in junior high school, it was like years.
That's
Yep.
Junior high school age, it was like, you guys have been broken up for 3 days. That's like 5 years in junior high school years.
Okay.
No, it was probably immediate. It might have been why we were together. I don't even know. Maybe that's cheating. That's different.
It's valid, but those were school rules. It was different. That's like in elementary or any school when you stop dating the friend and you date the friend like the next day. The timelines are different.
Not when I was in love. Profess my love. He knew.
Yeah.
I did get with her later, and that's like done.
Still in school.
As adults.
Oh.
Yeah, we reunited. Reunited.
Feels so good.
I thought she was the one, and then after we reunited, I was like, yeah, I was
Oh
wrong.
my gosh. Okay, what about you, Britt?
Brett.
Yeah, so when I was in middle school,
Ah,
Oh, we're going even further back. Okay.
I did date one of my friend's exes. He actually left her to date me.
how good of friends were you?
We weren't great friends. I mean, we
Okay.
hung out in a group together,
Got it.
but we weren't like besties or anything.
See, high school and school rules are so much different.
You're trying to learn the ways.
And then I would say later, when I was in my early 20s, I dated somebody that was an ex of my best friend. But we had a conversation, and I was like, hey, I really like this person.
Right.
We connect really well. And, how would you feel about it? And she was not okay with it. She flat out said, no, that's not okay. You and I are friends. We're not going to do that. And I was like, well,
Right.
I'm sorry you feel that way, but I'm going to move forward, and I like this person, and my happiness comes first before anybody else's, because it's my life. I'm the one that has to live and be comfortable with who I am and the direction of life I want to go. So
Where is the guy now? Is it long gone or?
what's funny is this guy popped up again about 2 years ago. And I gave him the benefit of the doubt, and I went back out on a date with him, and I was like, oh, I dodged a bullet.
She's like,
Are you friends with the girl? Did that end?
I am not friends with the girl. And it didn't end because of
Oh, okay.
him. She was a little bit too much high energy for me.
Got it. It was going to end anyway. Who broke up with who in that scenario? Did he dump her or she dump him?
In that situation, she was dumped.
Yeah, I bet.
With her.
It's like, you crazy. You crazy lady.
Oh, that's the second story. So that was to the point that you said before. Like, you already had your full intent, no matter what, but you gave her the courtesy of knowing.
Yeah.
But it was gonna happen either way. But you can't be like, hey, I'm just letting you. I don't think you can ever go up to someone and say, hey, I'm just letting you know I'm dating your ex, whether you like it or not. You don't.
No, it doesn't
wanna
come
do
out that way.
No, you don't want to do that. I think you still say, hey, how do you feel about it? But deep down, you're like,
It's happening regardless.
sorry. Right. Especially if it's not like a close friend. Then it's like, I could do without being friends with you.
Yeah. I
Right.
mean, for her and I, in the second situation where her and I were best friends for a couple years, I was like, we're gonna ebb and flow
Right.
over time, and I get that, and I know it's supposed to be, your friends first, or where your loyalty is, but
Right.
she had already half stepped on me a few times, so I was like, you know what, let's just stay true to me, and
Right.
that's what I did. Even if he didn't last, I still did the best thing that was right for me.
You mean last in the relationship or in bed? I gotta throw a joke in. Sorry, it was like
No.
boom.
Both of those, none of them, neither of them.
You gotta try. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Well,
I took one shot.
there you go. I think what's interesting though about that though is like for this situation, one, both of their lives are out in the open. They're celebrities,
Yeah.
So they're out in the open, but also they're coworkers.
Coworkers.
That just changes everything because you gotta go to work now. Your ex-wife could be showing up with your coworker, when they're hugged up. You're just eating a sandwich or something, and you see them all kissing.
First off, wife should never come to work. Your significant other should just not come to your work. Maybe work parties now, right? Work parties. You got to see them there. Now they're raising your kids. It's kind of okay.
Well, so the same situation
It's like,
happened with B2K. I don't know why I was captivated by their drama, but it happened with Omarion. His baby's mom, he left his baby mom, and then she started dating one of the other B2K members, and of course, it's drama, but it broke up the group. It broke up any kind of reunion they were gonna do. Blah 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 blah. And it's hard when you have to still be a part of it. Like in my situation, he no longer was friends with her. There was no contact. There was no nothing, so it wasn't like there was anything to see or whatever the case was. And he never saw me with that person.
sure.
You know what I mean? Because of our situation. So I think it's different when you got to it's really close to, actually, I guess it's kind of like that. You date a coworker, it doesn't work out, but you got to work with each other. That's fine. But now you see another coworker date your ex that just say you're acquaintances with, but you're coworkers. So you still got to hear the stuff and be like, oh yeah, I had a great weekend. Went out with such and such. And you're like, that was, my old flame type deal, especially if it doesn't end on your accord and that person leaves you, that's even worse. You know what I mean? But now she's dating Steve down in the other
And now you're
department.
thinking like, well, what was going on? Was she already seeing Steve?
Right, were they already talking?
Slatty.
I guess I kind of been in a situation like that.
Were you the...
Freaking crap. Now memories.
I know. Now he's going to be mad at whoever that was. He's going to go back to the office. Someone's getting knocked out.
I was like triggering things. This is why you don't date people you work with.
Yeah, man. That is another good topic.
That's just free advice.
Or if you're going to date people that you work with, just know that if it doesn't work out, there may be somebody else, and you have to be okay with seeing them be happy.
Right.
You have to want that for the other person
There's
and for yourself.
Yeah. There's always somebody else too. And so I think the rules basically as we established is, all right, you're dating somebody, they're broken up. Now it depends on the nature of the relationship.
Right.
How deep was it? Who broke up with who?
Right.
But always have a conversation with the person about your intentions. Probably should wait a while. It shouldn't be like, you just broke up. Can I get with that?
I think there should be a timeline. But at the same time, sometimes there is no timeline because if you wait too long, then that chance is going to be gone. Yep. You talked about shooting your shot earlier.
So what's the amount of time? Like literally, you broke up with her. Oh, so can I give it a shot?
Well, I can't say what guy code timeline is because they'll be out there for the girl.
Crazy thing about that too, though, is like if you're really good friends, you've talked about the relationships at some extent.
They know.
All the red flags and how crazy and they are and all the things. Got
taking
notes on this one.
Like,
It was,
don't do this.
exactly. Don't
but
bring up prawns.
You
I
guys
don't
also
know.
shared good stuff, and that
Yeah.
person was like, okay.
They're
She
like,
likes
okay,
this.
Do this. You know.
It's like you're so much me connected so much faster than with Gary. It's like I've been taking notes for 10 years, babe. Shit, trying to get in there, you know.
10 years in this scenario.
Yeah.
That
I
definitely
guess
makes it
friendship's
worse.
over, you know.
Yeah, exactly. We've been together for 10 years, and now you're moving in.
Hey, you dumped her, dude. You broke her
Oh, I
heart.
broke her heart? Okay, I
Yeah, I'm
didn't
just
know.
there
I
picking up
didn't-
the, being a good friend, and just so happened I slipped in. It slipped in.
Then I'm probably warning you. Like, there's a reason.
Well, you were together for 10 years. So.
Exactly. Anyways, anywho's.
Yeah, I mean that's what I got on this topic. It hasn't like happened in an adult relationship that I can think of really, you know.
Which is surprising because I feel like this would happen more often. People know people because of work, school.
True.
You would
Friend
be in the
groups.
same circle. And Brittany, no offense, I would never be as nice as you. If someone's gonna date my ex, I'm like, fuck you, bitch. Go heavy.
I think, see, and that's just, we all have those different backgrounds, though. You know what I mean? Like,
I just want people to be happy. Life is already hard enough.
No.
And then to
Nope.
go out and like try and date, and it's already hard. So
I think
whatever the situation is, just do what makes
The
life.
question I have, I hear what you're saying, but the question I have is like, okay, so it depends on how far apart it is, right? So if it's like shortly thereafter, it's kind of like you've been probably thinking about this whole time.
yeah,
You've been probably crushing on him and thinking about this and just biding your time for us to break up.
6 months.
What type of shit have you been saying? What seed did you plant? Were you one of those nefarious peoples who were like, Gary, or let's say
Oh, like you were
Marlon,
trying to help break it up.
Marlon has been talking about you and how like you're just not a great guy for me.
Right, like he's
You know?
sabotaging it so he can swoop in.
And then I'm like, screw it, I'm over you, money. And next you know,
Marlon's all of it.
yeah. Sorry, Marlon, I didn't mean to demonize you
Poor
in that
Marlon.
situation.
Poor Marlon's like, I wanted to be out of this episode altogether. You still dragged me in.
I'm dragging you in. I know. He was like, "Nah, I'm good."
Well,
Nah,
there's,
I'm like, "Too
there's
late."
always so many different scenarios,
Non-consensual shit.
so there's always so many different scenarios. So I think with guys too, it's a lot of pride involved. Because again, you know a lot about the history of those two people, or odds are you do, especially depending on how close you are. So there's a lot of pride because, you want your best for your friend, but at the same time, you're like, man, what is he going to do everything better than me? But sometimes you got to just realize it's just not meant to be. And that person just might be a better match. You got to let your pride effing go and realize like it just wasn't meant to be. And we're always evolving. We're always changing. You in that relationship is not going to be you in that next relationship. You're always going to change and you're always going to adapt. So it's just, there's no two alike scenarios, even if they're similar, but everything's always changing. I think you just got to let your pride go. And I'm kind of with Brittany. You just got to let them be happy. Now, timeline does take a place. Don't be trying to sabotage so you can swoop in because our friendship's going to be over.
That happens.
But 6 months?
I think out of respect, you give a grace period.
Yeah, you got to have some kind of grace period.
There should be a grace period.
Like my scent's still on her.
Jeez. Just ruined my night. I know you're sent.
Oh, wow.
It's foul.
We all do.
Yeah, we've been tortured by that, my friend.
Oh, yeah.
Chipotle.
But what about?
Chipotle? It's Qdoba.
Qdoba.
Now let me ask you this:
Okay.
Do you guys think that truly men and women can be friends?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that we're all friends, but say that we didn't meet in the way that we did because we all seem to have like the same common friend that's kind of brought us together. But if we were all just out somewhere, or if like, I don't know, me and one of you were out somewhere and we didn't know each other, but we started to like talk and, connect and try and be friends. Like, do you think that could happen, or do you think there has to be an attraction first, even though you're just buds?
We're like, so I think the premise of your question is flawed. It was too long. I can't understand it. I'm not going to respond. I don't know what you said.
Yes, I
Can
think
men and women be friends from the jump?
Yes,
Men and women, yeah, they can be
I think
friends.
they honestly can.
Yeah.
I honestly think you can.
At the same time, I think, okay, I'm just going to be real. God damn it.
Oh,
Look, yeah, you can be friends, but there's always like if there's like you find people attractive, there's a different thing. But it's like, oh, I'm not attracted to this person. It's easier to just friends.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like you know, like, okay, here's the basis of the relationship. Yeah. So you get to know each other, and it might be in this raw space of potentiality. Like when we all got to first know each other, there's a raw space of potentiality. We don't know where things are at. We don't know each other's stories. We don't know what's quite happening. And you start figuring it out. And then, okay, this is where the relationships are and how they evolve and develop.
That was a lot of hand movement, dude.
Yep.
That was a lot.
So, and then it's kind of like,
That's okay. My question was long-winded.
and
so
friendships have developed. Did that make sense?
Yes, and I'm just going to piggyback off of it. And what I might say may not make sense to most, but you can be attracted to someone and not be sexually attracted to someone. So that's why I think it's a yes. You can be attracted to a person but not in a sexual way.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? You know what? Never mind.
I definitely understand. I get it. I feel that
Oh,
way.
my phone.
I'd be like, what are you talking about, dude? Long, short answer, yes. I think you can. Uh-oh. Lights are starting to power
We're
out.
getting the lights. It's like, I wish that would have happened like 3 minutes ago before Britt's question.
I know, it's all
Just
good.
kidding. No, did you understand? I want to know, did the ladies understand my question?
Of course.
My answer. Did that make sense?
it was a long answer.
But did it make sense?
Yep.
Britt's not saying anything.
It did make sense.
Okay, do you buy it? Like, do you believe it? Do you believe that?
He's trying to sell himself on it.
No. I'm saying there's like you meet people, you're all just meeting, and you're in a space of potentiality. You don't know where relationships or how things are going to go. You like each other. You like each other's energy.
You establish where it's going to go.
And then from that, things kind of shake out based off of that, and they develop as they do, which develop into friendships and or other things, just depending.
Yeah, absolutely.
Got it. There you go. Answer. Nailed it.
Stamp of approval.
Thank you.
Woohoo.
All right.
I think that was good.
Okay.
So, to all of our viewers, followers, subscribers, chime in. Tell us what you think.
Can men and women be just friends?
Is that what we're talking
Should
about?
you date your ex?
And can you date
A friend's ex?
Can you date your friend's ex, and can you be okay with your friend dating your ex? Was that it?
Yeah.
I think that was it. So, anyways, we're out.
Thank you, ladies, for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you to our
Bye.
guest. Oh, I'm messing up buttons over here. So
Jesus Christ. Are
I
we
know.
done?
we're done. All right,
It
everybody.
still says live.
I know. I'm still talking.
Oh.
All right. Jeez. All right. Bye, everyone.
Oh, yeah, that's how we do it.